Epileptic is an autobiographical graphic novel by David B., released by Fantagraphics about a family where one of the children, a son in this case, has a severe case of epilepsy. Starting in the 1970s and ending book-wise in 1995, the novel chronicles the family's life as they deal and try to find ways to cure the son's epilepsy. They tried everything from changing his diet to quack medicine. As the years go by, the family dynamic breaks down and the son loses control of his own life. By the end of the story, it's difficult to understand if the final conversation and confrontation between the two brothers is real and if the brother that has epilepsy is alive at the end of it. I only found out about this comic about a month. I was at the main library and was checking out all the manga and graphic novels that were being displayed, and this was at the very top. The reason this interested me was because I used to have epilepsy, and I used to have grand mal seizures, just as the main character's brother. I found it interesting how in different places of the world people could have the same issues but have totally different outcomes. I didn't encounter all the bad mistreatment that his brother received. When I think about it, in the early part of my life, I rarely told anyone that I even had epilepsy. The only ones that were really told were like teachers and doctors, and not friends or classmates. So now let's take a look at some of the pros and cons of this novel. Pro. It's obvious that this is an indie book just based off of its art style. The story is told in black and white and has surrealistic and dark imagery from beginning to end. This works when the characters are expressing their feelings about various subjects or when they're talking with each other and expressing the battle with the illness. In this book, the illness is seen as a monster, the Grand Mal monster. Con. Once again, the art. As I said, it looks surrealistic and dark from beginning to end. This is a 368-page graphic novel. When you constantly use these artistic choices, it gets too overwhelming and becomes a mess. The art made the book feel clogged up and it was tough to get through. Also, the story came out in France first, so the translation of it seems to be a bit tough to get through. The author also seems to blame a good deal of his family's problems because of his brother's illness, while also his brother is portrayed of not doing more to help himself. I find it insulting that he uses his brother's illness as a scapegoat. Every family has issues, but most families can overcome it. Heck, my family has various eye diseases like glaucoma or cancer, retinoblastoma, and diabetes, and etc. What would be the point of blaming the person that's afflicted? They're not the sole cause of your issue. Another issue I have is this story can get a bit self-indulgent and repetitious. Here's an example. The brother has a seizure. The family goes and look for a crackpot treatment to cure the epilepsy. Wash and repeat. It happens over and over again. The book was emotionally draining as well. It was darkness with very little any light. Verdict. So, do I recommend this? No. That said, I do feel people should at least read it once, if for no other reason than to show people that there is more diversity in comics, and also this will give exposure to comics from overseas, in this case, France. I've checked various sites, and for the most part, this is a very well-reviewed book. I can understand why. This was a personal story for the author, but it may have been too personal. Interesting fact. The cover image for this graphic novel, the picture was drawn by the author's epileptic brother. Since this book has come out, David B. has created his own publishing company, La Association, and he has put out several other comics that have been translated. I haven't read any of them yet, but they seem to have a smaller page count, but the dreamlike quality artwork and the personal type storytelling is still there. Final note. While I didn't enjoy this book, I would be willing to try some of his other work. This seemed to be some of his earliest work, and I would imagine that the issues that I had may have lessened with time. I would imagine just on experience, he's gotten better. Also, there's going to be an animated movie based off of this graphic novel, and it's supposed to come out later this year. From what I've seen of it, the artwork looks amazing, and hopefully they'll work on the story so it won't be as tough to get through as it was for this graphic novel. And that's all I have for right now. Please subscribe. Please check out my work at www.drharris.net. And until next time, goodbye.